Hey, welcome to MTH140 College Algebra at Thomas University. This is a welcome video to kind of help guide you through what to expect for the semester and kind of help you just kind of get going. I'll have several of these videos and I'll kind of go through the tabs as we get going inside of here. So let's start off. Let's jump into this. So I'm going to go kind of from the top to the bottom. I'll get to my introductions and all those kind of things as we get going once I get to that spot. So you start off at the top, you've got your announcements. Basically, what I want you to understand is that, obviously you have this environment right here, which is your Canvas environment for our course. However, you also have your what's going to be called, or what is your My Math Lab. So I need you to kind of be really religious about checking your Canvas and going that this is how I'm going to communicate with you right here. Each week I'll post an announcement kind of telling you what's due that week, what's coming up, kind of just some little reminders, kind of pointing in the right direction, but not overwhelming of information. So please make sure you come in here and check your Canvas, not once a day, but periodically, and if your Canvas should be linked to your email, and so that way if you just have your email coming to your phone, you'll know if you got an email from me or whatever. And then once again, it's not like I'm going to surprise you with some crazy thing. I have this as a course designed to kind of run through the entire semester asynchronously, which basically means that it's at your pace. And so the whole idea is that I'm here in the background helping you get through this course so that you can move on and earn your degree, and so it's kind of here and for you to work at, and I have due dates. So that way I kind of keep you honest and on track. And we'll talk more about due dates as we get going. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump in this first announcement. We'll kind of run through. I know you can read, so I'm not going to read to you. However, so you'll have an announcement once a week from me, maybe twice in 1 week there'll be an announcement, but more than likely it'll just be one a week, and that'll be on Sunday night or Monday morning. So this guy jumps in talking about our textbook. I'm going to go and talk about our textbook a little bit more when we get into another place, but please know, number one thing, you need a My Math Lab access code for this course. If you do not get a My Math Lab access code, then you will not be able to pass this course. So please understand that you must get that. And I'll talk about cost and stuff like that. One thing I will bring up here in this tab right here is that you see that this word temporary code. So I've reached out to our representative from Pearson to see if that's still available, and as soon as I hear back from her, I will then, if that's an option, I will make that available. So in case you're waiting for financial aid or you're waiting to get paid to buy your access code, whatever it is that you're looking to do, it'll be right there for you. Alright, so first day of class, this is super important. I'm going to have a post for the first day of class, but the deal is this. I need you to log in. I need you to go into Canvas and show that you're going to be in this course. I need you to go ahead and get into My Math Lab and get going with things, if you're ready to buy your access code and so forth. But I need to kind of know, and I have opening activities that you'll be able to get started in Canvas that'll prove to me that you're committed to this course, that you showed up and you're ready to go. Alright, so we'll get to those in just a few minutes. First week assignments are due on the 25th. That's Sunday, and we'll talk about due dates and so forth. Alright, one big thing that I want everyone to understand is that it's very important for you to realize is that, I'm here to help you be successful. Like I said, I'm working in the background. Obviously, emails are better for me because of my schedule, and so you send me an email and I see it pop up and I'm like, oh, I got to get an email. Like I just had an email from one of your peers, and so then I'll get to that email and then respond to you, and if need be, we can talk on the phone. If you call me, more than likely, I'm just being honest, more than likely it's going to go to my voicemail. And then I'm going to check my voicemail, and then I'm going to get back to you when I have a chance. And then I'm going to call you back, and you might not be available, and we'll play this phone tag thing. So it's just way more advantageous for you to email me, and if the email is as simple as, hey, Professor Fix, I need to talk to you. I'm freaking out. I don't understand this. I have a question about the textbook. Whatever it is, and you give me your number and know that I'm going to be calling you, then that solves a lot of problems that will kind of narrow that communication down a little bit more rapidly. Alright, so that's that first welcome. I'm going to go back to the home screen. I'm actually in as a student right now, so this is kind of like what your screen's going to look like. So let's go ahead and jump down into our modules here, and you start off and you'll see like getting started. You scroll down, you got module 0, and then you've got module 1. And I've only got sections 1.1 available, and we'll get to that, why that is in just a few minutes. So course overview. Like I said, I know you can read, so I'm not going to go through and do that. Once again, this brings up the textbook thing. Basically what's available from the TU bookstore, and in just a few minutes I'll get back to that. This class is entirely online. I am your reference. I am your point of contact to start off. If things aren't going well, if you feel like I'm not giving you the attention that you need to be able to be successful in this course, then what I would ask is for you to bring that to my attention. Okay, I'm a big boy, and I understand that I may not be doing something that's going to be to the best to best fit you. But what I would ask is that we think about the chain of command here, and that you communicate that with me first and see if I can rectify that. If I can't rectify that, then you please speak to my department chair, which is Remy Padillo, and kind of go from there. It's just a process, and it's, if you're employed and you have an employer, that's the same process. You try to solve the problem with the person you're working with initially first. Couple things about the course as we move through here, that I want to point out is that this is this is a college course. And you're going to hear me say this more than one time, I 100% have the empathy and understanding that many of you maybe A, have children, B, have a full-time job, C, are taking other classes, and D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all the way through Z, all the other things you have going on in your life. I completely understand that, and I am here to help you be successful. But what I want to point out is a standard, okay? And that is that generally accepted standard for a 3-hour college course is to spend 2 to 3 hours per 2 to 3 hours per hour of the course per week. So this is a 3-hour course. You get 3 credit hours for this course. That means that you should plan to spend 6 to 9 hours each week working on this course. Now, does that mean that you have to spend 9 hours on this course? No. Does that mean that some weeks you might be able to get the work done in 2 hours and be proficient? Yes, that's what that means. Also the fact that this is online, and that when you're taking your tests, it's open resource. Like, you just have a time frame. You have 2 hours to take your test. So if you want to use your notes, great. Whereas if we were taking this face to face and you're taking your test, you wouldn't get to use your notes. So it would be a closed note. Take the test, and you might need to study for that, which would bring the hours up a little bit higher that you would need to prepare for this class. So please, kind of work that into that. And if you realize at the end of the week you're like, oh my gosh, I spent 6 hours on this class, that's the norm. Like, you're inside the norm, and for you to be able to be successful in this course, that might be something you have to do. So that's course overview real quickly. Please reach out if you have any questions. Alright, so the next one is me. Let's see if my picture pulls up. Yep. So there I am. Haha. So I recently moved from Albany, Georgia to Durango, Colorado, with my 16-year-old son and our 2 dogs. I'm currently employed, and starting tomorrow is my first day at a public charter school in Durango called Mountain Middle School. It's based off of High Tech High out of San Diego, and it's an amazing thing. This is my 19th year as an educator. I've been in direct instruction my entire life, and I was able to secure this position in a project-based, exploratory, exhibition-style learning environment, and I'm just so excited to kind of finish up my career in a new environment and grow as an educator. And so it's a little bit about me. I've been working for Thomas University for 10 years as an adjunct professor, teaching courses, fall, spring, summer, and so I'm very familiar. I take a lot of pride in this. I want Thomas University's name to, I want to represent Thomas University. I want to do a good job. I want you to be happy as a customer of Thomas University. And so please keep that in mind and reach out when you have questions. Alright, so honor code. Please read through the honor code. You'll see that I have, we'll talk about this in a little bit, there's a Google form that you'll complete that has some questions about the honor code inside of there. So it's very important that you watch that video and take the time to look at those things, please. And before I start talking about this next slide, I just want to go back and talk about the honor code. The biggest thing about the honor code is this, is that this is an online course. and you should be doing your own work. I understand that you're probably going to ask a friend about questions, but that friend should not be sitting at your computer doing the problems for you, helping you get the answers. Now, your friend could be tutoring you and saying, okay, so on this problem right here, do this, do this, do this. But then you need to go back and make sure that you can do it. And by all means, you should not have any assistance on any kind of test. And obviously in the final exam, you'll be proctored by Proctor U, which we'll talk about later on. But so it's very important with the honor code is that, you're doing your own work. This is not, on homework, like it's homework. I mean, like if you're getting help, get help. But when it's a test, I've had lots of people reach out to me and say, hey, Josh, I got some questions about, I got this online class I'm taking with math. Can you help me? And then later on, like after I help them, I'm like, oh yeah, thanks so much. You helped me make an A on that test. And I was like, whoa, wait a second, So I thought I was helping you on homework. So don't do that, like don't ask for help on the assessments. On homework, get help, please feel free. But no, also realize is that I'm your point of contact, I am here to help you. You should not be searching YouTube for how to do these problems. If the resources that I'm providing you, which we'll get to in a little bit, if the resources I'm providing you are not helping you, then please reach out to me and let me know, because then I need to add something to our resources. Okay, one more time. You should not be researching. I should not hear. Last semester, I'll tell you a quick story. Last semester, I had a student who didn't realize in my statistics class that I had videos tied to every single problem that they were doing. Not every single problem, but to the more difficult select problems, that I had videos teaching you how to do it, like walking you through, like you're in the classroom on the whiteboard working the problem out. And he had questioned something about this friend had questioned something about the class, and I said, hey, can we talk on the phone? And he said yeah. And so we called, and immediately I knew that's exactly what had happened. He did not realize that I was posting videos, and he didn't know where they were, and so then he was going to YouTube and spending hours searching for videos that were going to help him instead of just looking at the videos that I had provided. So I want this course to be in one place. You go in there, you watch the videos, you do the work, you use the resources inside of my math lab to move through, not going off and being like, how do you do this kind of thing on your own on YouTube. Okay, so I hope that's I was really long-winded about that, but that was a big deal to me, because if I hadn't called that student and had that conversation with him, chances are he was been like, man, this is the dumbest course I've ever taken, because this professor expected us to teach ourselves. Why would I teach myself? That's not my intentions. My intention is that I designed this course to walk you through the process of learning the content that's being given to you inside of my math lab. Thank you. Alright, so here's some contact information. This is kind of standard stuff for all your classes. So use this module as needed. And I'm just kind of going through, instead of going through like the, here on the, if I look back to this, this is what I'm basically doing, is I'm going through course interview, meet the instructor, honor code, contacts, orientation. So I'm just kind of going through those things like that. So I'll click back on orientation. So this is kind of orienting yourself with the online learning environment here. Please take time to look through that. Zoom. So I'm going to read this to you out loud. I know you can read. Since this course is taught entirely online, TIA has provided its professors with Zoom, an online conferencing tool. I prefer to answer your questions by responding to your email with a thorough response and or a short instructional video, but in the event that you need some one-on-one, that needs a space, doesn't it, instruction, we have Zoom as an option to meet online. Please contact me to set up a time to meet before using my Zoom online meeting room. After the appointment, this is the link that I would send to you to say, okay, let's go meet. I'll meet you on Wednesday at 8 o'clock inside the Zoom. You be there with your questions and I'll help you. Okay, but like I said, I really prefer, because of schedules and stuff like that, to just respond to you through your email very thoroughly. So please give me a try through the email first. And if I'm not meeting your needs, which 99% of the time I do with my students, then we can always meet online in a face-to-face type environment. And then the last one in this module, which is the Getting Started module, is this help. Okay, where can I get help? What are my options for help? So please take time to look through those and become familiar with those options. Please let me know if you have any questions about that. Alright, so we're going to just minimize the getting started, and we're going to the opening activity. So here we are. A couple of these things are complete, but we're going to go through here. Let's see, I'm at 14 minutes in my video. I'm trying to keep this under 30 minutes. This is my welcome video. This is my orientation. This is my day one of you coming into my class and sitting down and going through the process of learning with me. So let's start in the first one here, and like I said, we'll move through these as we go, and I won't come back to this, but I'm inside of Module 0, opening activities. Alright, so here we are, creating your MyMath account. This is, you have to do this. And like I said, I have reached out to the representative for our course to see if I can get a temporary, remember that's a temporary access code to go ahead and get started if you're waiting for financial aid or you're waiting to get paid or whatever it is. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to pull this up real quickly and then I'll minimize it once we go through. So this is a PDF that basically there's no need to print this. This is not going to change, not going to hide from you. But this is how you go through the process of creating your MyMathLab account. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. It's going to open up a new tab. And inside of this, if you already have a MyMathLab account, you'll go ahead and sign in. If you don't have an account, you'll come over here as student. You'll click on student. And it'll walk you through and say, okay, here's what's going on. This is what you need. You need an email address. Please use your Thomas University email. Okay, if you don't have your Thomas University email set up to come to your phone, then please reach out to the IT department and request to ask them. I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head, but like for professors we use Outlook, and so I had to download the Outlook app on my phone, and now my emails pop up just like they would with any other email. So if you have an iPhone, you can't set that up through your iPhone email. You got to do a separate app. But like I said, no big deal. And if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to IT. If you're not sure how to do that, reach out to me, and I'll point you in the right direction. All right. To get number two thing you need is the course ID, and the course ID is this fix 37232, and that's our unique ID for our MyMathLab course that I've created. And then you'll need an access code, credit card, or PayPal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go into this next screen and kind of explain something here, since this is the orientation for the class here. Alright, so I type in my code, fix 37232. Okay, so here I am. So if you don't have an account, you'll create an account. Using your Thomas University email address, please. If you do have an account, you'll log in. So this is not my teacher account. This is my mock student account. So I'm going to go ahead and act like I have an account and log in. I want to show you guys something here. Alright, so this is the screen that I have copied into this first tab inside of this first page inside of the Module 0. And this is addressing this conversation about your MyMathLab access code and ebook. Alright, so in an interest of saving you money, you can go to the TU bookstore or go to the online bookstore, and for $126.75 you can buy an access code and ebook for that with that ISBN number. For $186.75 you can buy a loose leaf textbook, which basically means it'll be like a bunch of loose pieces of paper that you'll put in a binder yourself, that will come with an access code and an ebook. And the ebook is inside of MyMathLab. And when I do my introduction to MyMathLab a little more thoroughly, I'll talk about the ebook there. This video won't have that. Or right here, when you come to this option, if you bought your access code from TU or someplace else, you would click on that access code right there. You type in your access code, boom, you're ready to roll. If you wanted to, and the last time I went to college, what happened was that I applied for so much financial aid, they paid my bills, my tuition, and whatever was left over, I got a check for. So if you wanted to pay out of pocket and wait for that financial aid money to come and pay you back, you could A, buy an access code and ebook for $104. Now what this access code right here would do differently than the $69.99 is this access code would be good for several semesters. So let's just say you went a month into this course, you started using this account, and something happened and you had to drop the course. Or worst case scenario, you take this course and you fail it, and you need to take the class again. You would be able to use this access code over a period of time. Now you wouldn't be able to give it to your friend and let them use it. That's not how it works. But it would, if you had to take this class again, it would allow you to use that access code over a period of time if something happened and you're unable to finish this class successfully. $104.99 versus $69.99. $69.99 is only going to give you an 18-week access. That'll get you through December. That'll get you through this course right here. That is by far the cheapest option. If you fail this class, you would have to pay another $69.99. If you had a death in the family and dropped the course, you'd have to pay another $69.99 because that would only be good for 18 weeks. All right, so I'm going to go back to the announcement about this. So what I'm trying to point out to you is this. You could go pay $126 from the bookstore. You could apply your financial aid money right through the bookstore and do it that way, or you could come down here and pay $104, pay $69.99. All right. The loose leaf textbook, I would really say don't do it. Now that's my personal opinion, and that happens to get me in trouble quite a bit when I tell people, oh, you don't need that, and then people are like, I needed it. My deal is this, is that you'll see when I instruct you and show you best methods or best use methods inside of my math lab, you're going to realize you don't need a textbook because the resources inside of my math lab are going to guide you successfully. All right, so if you have any questions about this, please reach out to me. Send me an email and let me know. I'll kind of explain to you, you tell me your particular circumstance, whatever, and I'll see if I can't guide you in the right direction. All right, so like I said, there's your options. Please let me know. All right, next thing that comes along is your introduction to my math lab. This video is not recorded yet. I'm a little behind on this. I'm starting my new job, and I didn't know if this course was going to make or not. So like I said, I'm just a little bit behind on recording that video. We'll get that going this week. Basically, I've kind of given you a little bit of introduction right now, but this is going to be like the one that's going to kind of really tell you, like, hey, here's my math lab, here's the layout, and kind of have some best practices and stuff like that inside of it, so that you can be successful inside of my math lab. It's loading. Alright, the next one, I'll probably end up taking that introduction to my math lab and the best practices and put them together, so this will probably disappear, but for now it's right there telling you that there'll be something coming similar to this. Alright, methods of communication. So, like I said, you can read this. I go through and tell you, this kind of stuff. Here's the bottom line, okay? Along with being an adjunct here at TU, I am a full-time teacher. I value this position. I value you as a student. I value Thomas University and its success. And so I want to make sure that I'm communicating with you and responding back as soon as possible. I have it set up on my phone so that way if an email comes in, I'll see it pop up. Obviously, you know how that works. Sometimes things pop up and then go away and you don't catch them. If you send me an email and I don't respond within 24 hours, send me a text and just say, hey, I sent you an email yesterday. Did you see it? And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, and I'll go get to it. Or a lot of times what I'll do is if I see an email come in the morning, I'll say, hey, I'm busy this morning. I'll get back to you tonight. Or I'll kind of communicate with you and let you know. How are you going to email me? We must use Thomas University's email server. You can email me through Canvas, or you can email me in my math lab. And all of those will come to my inbox, and I'll see them, and I'll go and address them. Your email should be thorough and complete to allow me to understand your inquiry, like what you're asking about. Since this is an online class, I try to be creative and accommodating as possible when answering your questions. My preferred method would be through email. If you're looking at a question in section 1.1, be specific. Tell me what assignment it is and what number it is. I can come in behind you and look at what question you were looking at, and I can respond to that question directly and give you basically a response to that question. You can then finish that question and answer another one just like it, which we'll talk about when we talk about best practices. All right, so just please consider that. You're more than welcome to text me. You're more than welcome to call me. Like I said, email is the best way, though, to communicate with me to start off. Uh-oh. Let me hit pause real quick and solve this problem. Alright, I got the internet back up and going. Go figure, huh? Computers. Okay, so the next tab that came up excuse me, it's a course schedule. And I do this because, like we have the syllabus and we'll get that in just a minute, but like with the course schedule, I think it's important, even though every Sunday night or Monday morning I'll send this out reminding you what's due. This basically is like a way for you to kind of have a piece of paper to kind of chop off and kind of keep track of what's due, what's coming up, and kind of visually see it. So please use that as a reference. Let's go through and kind of talk about a couple of these things just real quickly so you understand like the layout here of how I'm speaking and what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let's back this down just a touch. I'm trying to make a good fit here. Okay, so like this week starts off week 1 opens tomorrow morning. You got your first day week of class activities, and you have section 1.1 in my math lab. So I've got a list of things you have to do, and you'll see those in the opening activities. You got a reflection, you got introduction, you got the discussion board netiquette. I'm sorry, the netiquette video. That's a typo. I apologize. But this discussion board basically is a post. They're done on the reflection and introduction are done on the discussion board. And I'll clear that up in the email in the morning. You got your netiquette video. You need to read through the syllabus, not print it. Read it. You got your print course schedule, which is what we're looking at right now. You need to view this video that you're watching right now, and you need to complete the TU student info and agreement form. Along with that, you have section 1.1 to go through and to complete and view videos and everything that you need to do, and that's due next Sunday, the 25th. And then you move on to week 2. Come available on Monday, the 20th. That didn't really add up, Josh. Should be Monday, the 26th through the 1st. Typos. Sorry about that. But basically a list over on the left-hand side. What are the sections we'll be talking about that week? What are the objectives? And then what's the assignment? When's it due? This is when it's open. What's the objectives? When it's due? What the assignment is? And when it's due? And so forth and so on. Some weeks you'll have, some homework to complete leading up to the test. We scroll down through here. Let's get to fall break. You'll notice like the assignments that were assigned the week before fall break, instead of being due on the 13th, will actually be due at the end of fall break. So you actually have 2 weeks to complete that assignment right there if you wanted to, and so forth and so on. When we get to the syllabus here in a minute, we'll talk more about the final exam and such. So course schedule, you'll want to download a copy of that and print that. And so you can click on that PDF right there and it will download and you can print it. Alright, so discussion board netiquette. It actually was written right. So basically when we're doing anything in the course or we're interacting, I kept this is something I came across a long time ago and I've used probably 8 years, and just basically talks about, the fact is that, this is not text. We're not texting each other, we're not shorthanding, look, I want you guys to respond and work together and communicate as in a professional setting, in a professional manner. So it kind of goes through that a little bit there. Man, I'm going long-winded. I'm 27 minutes. I usually try to keep this to 30 minutes. You got an opening reflection, which will pop up tomorrow. You need to complete that. You've got an introduction. You'll need to complete that. And then this is where the welcome video, the video you're watching right now, will be posted, and along with that you will have to click on a link that will take you to basically like a student info and agreement form, and you'll go through and answer a few questions and go through, and then there'll be a secret word at the end that will get you let me know that you watched this video all the way to the end. Alright, so if you have any questions about the welcome video or beginning of course type things, please go ahead and go to the discussion board and post there, and that way everyone can see, and I'll respond to it. But otherwise, if you have content questions, I ask you don't post those on the discussion board. Email me that information. I don't know. That's the way I do it. I don't require you guys to have a lot of interaction with each other. I require you just to complete your assignments, be focused on your work, and not a lot of discussion board stuff. Like if this is a humanities class or something different, like we might respond and do a lot of things on the discussion board. So only this first week we have to do some things on the discussion board. Alright, you're going to use a TI 84, 83, or 84 in this class, and a student a couple of semesters ago said, hey, Professor, this might help a lot for some students in the future if you provided these reference guides, so here they are. Please note that if I do ask you to use a TI instrument, a TI 83 or 84, I do provide the videos and the resources to teach you how to do that. Once again, I do not expect you to go off on YouTube and to search it out yourself. So if you feel like I haven't provided you with the resource of how to do something with your graphing calculator, please reach out to me and I'll provide that resource. Alright, so we're into Module 1. So I'm going to back out so you can see where we are right now. And I'm going to go out to our home screen. And so we talked about all of these things in the opening module. And I'm going to close that off, and so now you can see we got Module 1 available right here. Inside of Module 1, you might want to take a look at the PowerPoint for Section 1.1. You might want to print it out. You might want to be like as a reference with notes. That's totally up to you. And then I have some videos right here. So what I would do with these is that I would, and I'll get more into the best practices, but this is personally what I would do right here is I would open this up, I kind of browse through, take a look at it. You might want to print it out, and then you can practice your problems and take your notes on top of it. Then I would watch these videos. I may not take notes, screen for screen. I might just watch them. I might just familiarize myself with them and know that, hey, wait a second, there was a video back there inside of Canvas that will help me with this work. And so use this and kind of just know that that's kind of like that conversation with that student that didn't know that I had the videos posted in Canvas, and so he was going off and looking because he was going right into the online learning environment. He was skipping Canvas and going right into where our coursework stuff and wasn't coming and reading these things and realizing, oh, Professor Fix posted videos for me for this section, how to do these questions. So you just keep that in mind as a reference, all right? So that gets us through that first module there. We talked about announcements. Let's go into the syllabus real quickly. So here's the syllabus for the course. It's got my contact information, my email address, talking about how the course is laid out. A lot of this stuff I've already gone through. A TI 83 or TI 84 calculator is required for this course. So what I would highly recommend is that if you don't have one, don't go pay $100 or probably during school starting, you probably pay $80 for one. Man, reach out to your friends and see. They might have a high school kid that has one you can borrow. Just reach out to the community around you. Do an ISO on Facebook and ask if someone will loan you a calculator for the semester, because and let you. If you take my Math 250, my statistics course, you'll need it for that class also, but just borrow it for another semester. But just keep that in mind. There's no sense in going and spending, $100. Now, I will say this to you. The resale value on those calculators is pretty good. So if you paid $80 for that calculator, you could definitely sell it for $50 or $60. So just keep that in mind. The other thing would be man, go to the pawn shop. I guarantee you there's 3 or 4 of them at the pawn shop that you could buy for $40 if you wanted to buy one. Look on eBay, look on Marketplace on Facebook. Don't pay full price, is what my recommendation is. That's stuff you can read, learning outcomes, what we're going to do this year, how it's going to be taken care of. You're going to learn that along the way. I'm not going to take a lot of time. This is an important topic. Homework's 30%. So 30% of your grade comes from your homework. That's pretty high. You think about that's more than the final exam. You can do that homework and do it and do it and do it until you get your 100 on it. If you're happy with 80%, take your 80%. However you want to do that. But that's 30%. So in my personal opinion, you should walk out of this course with an A in your homework section, so that way when it comes around to your final grade, that homework is a benefit for you, not a hindering. Plus, that homework's going to help you be successful. In my other video where I talk about best practices, we'll talk about how you go back and rework that homework to bring your grade up and so forth. Test, there we go, 50%. That's a big deal. Ooh, I forgot to take that out of there. Please scratch that. Students, we do not have tickets out the door. Okay, so please take that out of there. The test, we did not. So your test is your test. It's a 2-hour test. You can use your notes. You can use other resources. Obviously, please remember the honor code. If you're looking up answers on another website and entering them into the test, that is against the honor code. If you have a friend answering that question for you, that's against the honor code. So please keep track of that. Your final exam will be cumulative. You will be able to use a sheet of paper, a note sheet, to kind of write down formulas, resources, whatever tools you need to be able to help you on that exam. So that will be an option because it will be proctored by ProctorU, an online proctoring service. We follow the standard university grading scale. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of read that. So our required text. So you don't need the textbook, but the textbook is tied to this MyMathLab access code. We've already talked about the access code, so I'm going to move past that. There's that reference right there. Technology that you will need. You will need for ProctorU. For ProctorU only, you will need speakers or headphones. You'll need a webcam. ProctorU will need to watch you while you're taking your exam. You'll need a microphone on that headset or on your computer, so that way the proctor you can talk and you can talk back to them. And then of course you'll need that Texas Instruments TI-83 or TI-84 graphing calculator. I want to go back real quickly to homework. It looks like I messed up making my syllabus kind of in haste. I forgot to add in here is that there is a late penalty. There is a 10% late penalty. I will be completely honest with you. Most of the time that I don't worry about that on the tests. I do, however, do that on the homework because the system will do it for me. So if you submit your homework, let's say there's 17 questions on the homework and you submit 10 of them on time, those 10 will not be deducted any late penalty. But the other 7 questions will have a deduction of 10% on that. So just kind of pull them down just a touch. That's kind of keep you honest. I don't want students waiting until the end of the semester to complete all of their work. I want you to do your work as you're going. That's why I've got this divided up by weeks, so that way you kind of get through. Alright, so resources, you got the help tab inside of Canvas. You can go there. It's got information about where you can go. Please take a look at that and let me know if you have any questions. You must complete, to verify that you're going to be in this class, you must complete a portion of the opening activities inside of Canvas by Friday. That kind of just shows me your commitment to this course. Alright, the online assessment. So you have one big, all of your stuff's online, but you have your final exam, which is proctored by ProctorU. And I'll post an announcement. There'll be a module inside of Canvas here for you to go through and bring this up. But I want to make sure it's real clear. If you fail to attempt the assessment as specified in the syllabus, it will result in automatic failure of the course. You cannot skip the final exam. Okay, you've got to take it. I don't do exemptions. I'm sorry. I know other courses do, but this course we don't do that. Your final exam will be from anywhere between December 9th and December 13th, and that whole entire week you fit your schedule. Like I said, I'll tell you more later. Here's the resources. We'll talk about more later that you need to do. One thing to know about this is that with ProctorU, you need to schedule your appointment in advance. Otherwise, they're going to charge you an additional fee. So I will post 2 weeks out, maybe even further out from the final exam, reminding you of this. We'll talk about it, and we'll go through this more in depth. There it is, just for reference. All right. And then there's that course schedule again, the one that I told you to print out so you have it. Okay. There is no need for you to print out the syllabus. It'll be right here. If I make any changes or adjustments, I will post an announcement and let you know that I have made that change. Next tab is your modules. You got your discussion board and your grades. Let's go to grades. All right. So this is where your grade will be. Okay. This is where you want to look. Your grade won't look like this. I apologize. This is actually, your grade will look like this. Excuse me. This is where you'll go to see what your current grade is. In my math lab, I may have it set up so it's pretty accurate, but this is where I'll have things imported. Every week I'll import those assignments that you completed that week in. It'll update you'll know where you are right that minute in this course, and so it can know where you're standing and everything. Alright, so that runs us through everything for the course. That's kind of like that introduction. It's the first day of class. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Let me know. remember, start off right here, come into your home, and from there you start off, you got your announcements for each week. So please make sure you're checking those announcements. Tomorrow morning they will be posted, kind of reminding you what's due this week, and then go ahead and make sure you're getting things completed inside of the getting started and the opening activities. With that said, the magic word, the secret word, is banana. All right, banana. So that's the word you're going to type in, and that'll let me know that you watched this video all 39 minutes. I'm so sorry for being long-winded, but I want to make sure everyone feels comfortable with the course. I look forward to a great semester. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I am here to help you. You are not at this alone, and so just as the semester gets going, you'll realize that. So I look forward to a great semester. Thanks so much for your time. See you soon.